Today I'm at my range and I'm using two different pellets today. My around the house plinkers, which are Walmart Crosman Premier 14.3s. I'm shooting these at 970 feet per second. And I would probably shoot them slower than that, but that's my Power Wheel 1 and I don't want to adjust the gun. The whole idea behind me tuning this gun is so I have a setting at home and I have a setting at the range, kind of miscellaneous hunting stuff. Home, I want it to be real quiet. Power Wheel 1, I'm shooting really quiet at 970 feet per second with these Crosman Premier 14.3s. Bulk from Walmart, I get them for $8. It's one of the only pellets that I can get where I live. They're still doing 738 feet per second at 50 yards. I just stuck the chronograph at 50 and shot through it. So 17 foot-pounds on target if I was shooting a mongoose or a bird or something. So that's pretty good. 970 feet per second, and they actually group pretty good. They group about 1 inch at 50 yards, which is plenty accurate enough to shoot anything around the house. For bulk unsorted pellets, that's pretty damn good. So what I'm doing here at the range is I'm gonna see how they group at 80, and in transparency I did walk the shots in and got my zero. So I've been tinkering around a lot with this gun, so I needed to kind of re-zero things. 21 MRAD at 80 yards, and I'm going to try and shoot a 1 inch spot on cardboard. I had these things shooting on Power Wheel 8. I had them shooting 1074. I couldn't get them to break the sound barrier, but I had them shooting 1074. And grouping actually fairly decent. Here we go. First shot. This is a very unsteady rest. I'm on a rock wall and just have a rear bag that I'm resting the gun on. So we also have a little bit of a breeze today, so I won't be super shocked if this is a 2-inch group. I got faith that it might be a little better than that. Maybe it's gonna be too boring to film the whole thing, so I probably won't film the whole thing. But
many minutes later.
Oops. Well, I guess we're getting a 7-round group because I ran out of ammo. So let's walk up and check that out. All right, here we go. Here's the 80. All right, all 7 rounds on there. And I'm gonna say it's maybe like probably 3-inch. Here's my finger. I do have big fingers. Got one in there. That's 80 yards. It's 970 feet per second with Crosman Premier 14.3s. And it is a little blustery. And not so much at the moment, but it is blowing around in here. And when you punch that extra 30 yards to those ones, there's a wind that comes right up through there. A little worse than I thought it would be. I'm gonna click my scope back right. I guess this one where I walked it in is, I don't know, about 3 yards closer, and those were my walk-in shots when I was finding my elevations. There's 2 of them in that hit right there. I'm a little disappointed, so we're gonna rerun that test on the 80 and see what happens. All right, so group number 2, wish I would have taped those off, but I went 5 clicks right, which is funny because I'm almost back to my zero now at 50 yards. And I went 2 clicks up, so I'm at 2.3, which is exactly what my ballistics app said. But when I was shooting the first little group, the little test group, it was shooting high. So it zeroed in at 21. So I put those 2 clicks back and we'll see what it does. I'm not saying that I wasn't wiggling all over the place on those. I mean, you can see they're pretty rapid fire, and the gun is not at all stable in here. It's just teeter-tottering. This is kind of a real-world rest, like hunting situation, and I would never shoot these pellets 80 yards. It's just kind of for fun. You shoot good enough at 50 to do anything with squirrels or whatever you want to do like that. Rats, especially if you probably tuned them back about 100 feet per second. I think that actually is going to look pretty good. I also landed a bunch in the bullseye, so let's go up and take a look. Here we go. I'll be damned. So there was one in here from our first group, course, you'll be able to see it play back in the video, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it was like these 6 and one of those on the first group, and the rest of those, so all of those pretty much are the group I just did. That's 80 yards with the cheapest damn pellets on the market. FX Impact M4 Sniper. And that is off a crappy rest. This thing is legit. And if you don't believe me how far that is, I am way back there in the middle, right where that like rock cropping is. That's what I'm resting on back there. Whoop. I am pretty damn pleased with that. That is probably about 2.5 inches. Just guessing. So I'm gonna tape that off and put a new bullseye up there, and then we're gonna shoot the 25s. Looking back to the shooting bench, and I decided for the 25s because they're gonna be quite a bit more accurate. I'm gonna set the chronograph up in front of it. That way we can see how fast they're going at 80 yards on target, and we can get some energy for our hunting specs. How nerdy is that? Don't have to trust the ballistics chart on what it's producing for energy. We can actually verify it by putting the chronograph in front of the bullseye. I'm gonna shoot my other main pellet, which is these AEA Center Punch Diabolo 25.3s. Just opened it. I went into my ballistics chart. I didn't even have the right scope in there. Added this scope and I dialed it in to where it said, and I shot the first shot on the cold gun and it went low. Second shot hit dead center bullseye. Third shot dead center bullseye again, same spot. I think I'm gonna do 1 click. Anyway, this is the pellet. These ones I'm shooting at 915 feet per second at the muzzle. That's 47 foot-pounds of energy. And they were going 806 at 50 yards. So that's still 36 foot-pounds of energy on target at 50 yards. If I use these at home on the mongoose, they're gonna be hit with 40 foot-pounds at the 20 and 30 yards I'm generally taking them out at. 806 feet per second still at 50 yards. And I did that by sticking the chronograph right in front of the target. 1 click, and hopefully I don't shoot the screen out of the chronograph. Use the same data for the hold. 726 is what it says for the hold I'm currently using. Oh man, there's grass right in front of the chronograph. I had some paint stuck in the tip, and so it squirted a crappy spot on the cardboard, but it gives me a place to hold anyway. Dead center, just a tiny bit low. And the chronograph says air. That sucks. Alright, well sorry guys, we're getting no chronograph data. Looks like you got one kind of flyer in there, but the rest of them are definitely dead animals at 80 yards. We'll see how it stacks up against the Crosman Premiers. Oh, alright. We did get at least one on the chronograph there. 716 feet per second at 80 yards. And there's our group. That's actually better than I thought it was going to be. So there's my thumb. You can see my jacked up nail. Got a staph infection in it a couple weeks ago. So yeah, I'm going to say, I don't know, probably 2.5 inch group. Honestly, it's not really that much better than the Crosman Premiers. But I think a lot of that was just me. I had grass in front of the target and stuff. It was a little bit harder to see. And I couldn't actually even read the chronograph. That's why I didn't know. But yeah, 716 feet per second. It would be a lot better with slugs, I think. But that was mostly me. And we're going to take it out to... oh, I got to remember what that is. I might have to step it off. I think it's 110. The math says that... at 85 yards, 716 feet per second, that is 29 foot-pounds. So we're putting 29 foot-pounds on target with those 25 grain pellets at a muzzle velocity of about 915. Pasted at 105. I thought it was 110. We're going to call it 105, and we're going to dial 3.7, and we're going to see. We might just have to walk these in. I'm going to aim for the top dot. A bit farther, it's probably going to hit at the bottom dot. super, super wobbly. This is terrible. I'm using the Element Helix here if you can't read it on the scope. So here goes something. It's probably 110. We're a half a mil low. One more, and then I'm actually going to adjust. It stacked them on top of each other. That's impressive, especially with my crappie. According to the ballistics, it's putting 26 foot-pounds on target at that distance at 110 yards. Okay, let's see if we can shoot off some red paint. After those first 2 shots, if I miss, it's probably me. Gotta cock the gun. At least we know we aren't flinching. Red paint. Oh my gosh, this gun is sick. Oh, that was a little bit high.
Many minutes later.
I don't know how many shots I'm at, but I'm kind of just waiting for the mag to empty. Okay. There we go. And we're out. Alright, I'll walk you up there and then we'll end this video. Alright. Okay. So I thought it was 110. I pasted it 105. The ballistics said it was 110. Those are my first 2 that I said stacked on each other. The ants off me. And that was my real first shot after the dial. So first shot I actually hit it. And then you saw how kind of just rapid fire that group was after that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Who knows what it is, but there's a bunch on there. And so there's my thumb. I don't know, that's probably 4, I don't know. That's about 3/4 of an inch right there. So that's you guys' reference point. It won't stick, but that's what we're looking at. That's a 1-inch shoot and see right there. All right, y'all, that's the end of this long-winded video. I just wanted to sight in my 2 daily pellets, and I wouldn't use pellets if I was shooting 110 yards, probably. They're really good out to like 75, but I just use slugs after that. Gun shoots good with both of them. It shoots really good with slugs too. Matter of fact, it shoots quite a bit better. Once I start running out of these pellets, I will shoot slugs probably exclusively for my heavier load. That's it for today. I'm going to load back in the 14.3 cheapies, and I'm just gonna start launching some groups at 75 yards, just fast, just to kind of get my bearings and some trigger time. All right. Thanks for watching. See ya. Bonus footage if you're still here. That's the rapid fire group. Basically a full mag of the Crosman Premiers. That said, the JSB Hades is a lot more accurate. And if you're still here, this is the 110 yard group with a pellet I've never even shot before. This was the Crosman Premier 14.3 domed. I had no idea where to zero the scope or anything. That's the group. Not bad. And then I switched back to the hollow points. There is the 25 grain AEA group, and there's the Crosman Premier hollow point 14.3 Walmart pellet. I gotta say, those damn things are good bang for the buck.